Outside the Beltway with John Fredericks. Talking to Americans outside of Washington. In the heartland. In our cities. And in our communities. About what matters to them. Outside the Beltway with John Fredericks starts now.
You're on Outside the Beltway. I'm John Fredericks, and I am your blowtorch of free speech in America. Michael Patrick Leahy on the ground in Nash Vegas is coming up. Big win for the Republicans there. But the Democrats are in the spin mode with fake news saying what a great victory it was for Democrats, even though they lost by 10 points. I guess they're comparing it to the Titans. If the Titans lose a game by 10, it's a great moral victory. We only got beat by 10 this week. Whoa, we're making progress, baby. Let's go. Of course, when you lose a political race by 10, well, then you got blown out. But, you know, the Democrats think a little bit differently. This segment, I'm going to Indiana. We're leaving today. Buses leaving for Indianapolis. We're going to raise a little hell trying to get those representatives out there in the state Senate to vote for the redistricting map. I'm not leaving without my sat phone. No way, Jose, right? We got that bus 8 hours, right? Going to get stuck in snow. Who the hell knows what's going on between here and Indy, right? No way would I ever leave without my sat phone, because all I got to do, anything happens, no bars, no worries. I just open it up. I hit the on button right there. It turns on. I can call anybody or anybody can call me. Run my sat phone, got its own number. Now, a lot of people say, how much is that? $1,500. You know how much I paid? $0. You know how much you'll pay? $0. 0 times 0 is 0. It's called free. You're going to get a free sat phone. All you got to do is go to sat123.com. This is going to be a lifesaver. Every family should have one like I do. Lifesaver, because you can always get in touch with everybody in your family. Things go south. Take it with you. I travel with it on the bus all the time. When I travel, I always have it. Just go to sat123.com and $80 a month, and you get 90 free minutes. That's it. And they roll over. So if you go 3 months without opening it up, you got 240 minutes. Boom, you can talk you can talk till the battery runs out. Not charge you a dime. $80 a month is all it is. 90 minutes a month, 3 minutes free. Just go to sat123.com, sat123.com. Change your life. sat123.com. Join me now. Michael Patrick Leahy is with us on the ground in Nash Vegas. Michael, thanks for being with us bright and early today.
A big win yesterday for Matt Van Epps, the GOP nominee, and Donald Trump. He ended up winning by the special election on December the 2nd. He won it by 9 points, 54-45. Now, what does this show you? It shows you that the poll that came out from the Hill/Emerson College showing this race a virtual tie was a bunch of propaganda because it undersampled Republicans by 10 points.
And you said that.
Yeah, we said that. We predicted it. Also on Bannon yesterday, I predicted that this would be a 10-point victory for Matt Van Epps because election day turnout would be greater than early voting. And I turned out to be exactly right on that, John. Listen to this. 84,000 total votes cast in early voting, 14 counties, including far left Davidson County. Afton Bain won the early voting by 2,500 votes. We said it would be a wash. So she won 43,250 to 40,750 in early voting. But wait, there's more, John. Election day turnout was 96,000. That hardly ever happens, that it was that much more on election day. And on election day, Matt Van Epps stomped her by 18,000 votes. 18,000. On election day, this district basically was 59-41 for the Trump-endorsed Matt Van Epps, which was pretty much what Trump won the district by in 2024, 22 points. So they outspent him. They brought in all sorts of troops, probably 5-6 million spent on behalf of Afton Bain, probably $4 million spent on behalf of Matt Van Epps. And it turned out that it was a really huge victory for Donald Trump and Matt Van Epps. And I think the credit really needs to go to the turnaround and the huge turnout on Election Day. And much of that credit goes to the national conservative media. Bannon's War Room, I was on a show. Matt Van Epps was on a show several times. The John Fredericks Radio Network, which told people to get out to vote. Clay Travis, who lives in this district, said go out and get out and vote. And big credit to Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, who came in and campaigned all day on Monday in the district with Matt Van Epps, and also the National Republican Campaign Committee, which came in and did a really good get-out-the-vote effort on game day.
What about the Michael Patrick Leahy show in Nashville?
Well, of course, but I'm being modest.
Don't be modest. By the way, did you tell everybody about your award you won last week?
Yeah, we won the Dow Prize, which is the Pulitzer Prize of conservative journalism for local journalism, the very best local reporting in the country for local journalism. We were nominated in 2 categories: our reporting on the Covenant Killer Manifesto, and when we broke the story that Kilmar Abrego Garcia was stopped in November of 2022 driving 9 illegal aliens, but was the Tennessee Highway Patrol was ordered by the Biden era FBI, to release him. And our reporting of that story led to the human smuggling charges brought against him.
Well, you should have won both awards, and also it came with a $10,000 award. So congratulations on that. Well earned, well deserved. Michael Patrick Leahy on the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. So the fake newsers saying Afton Bain was right there. She got blown out. But Michael, stay with us one more minute, all right? I'll be right back. Stay with us. Well, the You're Outside the Beltway. I'm John Fredericks, your blowtorch of free speech in America. Michael Patrick Leahy going to be back with me here and momentarily. But let's just give a big shout out to Matt Van Epps winning that race handily. But there's a few red flags, and I'm going to tell you what they are with Michael Patrick Leahy in a minute. But in the meantime, this segment is brought to you by Purple Wave. If you're in the business for farm equipment or construction equipment, you want to buy it or you want to sell it, or you have a fleet of vehicles, Purple Wave's the only company you want to go to because they have no reserve auctions, which means highest bidder gets it, no floor. Now, that keeps everybody honest. But the main thing is they're a great company run by great people, and you got to really enjoy doing business with them. But they're the disruptor of the industry. So let's say you have a tractor or you have a front-end loader, you have a dump truck, and you want to buy it or sell it. You want to go to purplewave.com. They're going to come out. They're going to check everything out. If you're selling it, you're going to check it all out. They're going to take the photos. They're going to get the history. They're going to post it all online. Then they're going to go with their salespeople, the buyers, letting the buyers know that they know are in the market for what you're selling, and they're going to go to the buyers with your information so that they have the bid at their fingertips ready to go. That's how you move the product. So if you want to buy something and you want to get a good deal, or you want to get some quick cash from equipment that you have, you've only got one place to go. One place only, and that's Purple Wave. Great people, great company, great value. Go to purplewave.com. That's purplewave.com. You're good to go. Register there and check it out. All right, back with Michael Patrick Leahy. Michael, thanks for staying another segment. So here the red flag to me. Obviously, we got the fake poll from Emerson, right? That was totally a bogus poll. They do fundraising off it. They get their people fired up. Been there, done that. Same in Iowa, where they said what? And what's her name said Harris was up by 3. She got beat by 15, right? It's a joke. But the Democrats continue to clobber us on mail-in ballots and early voting. Clobber us. And I know we've gotten better at it. Early voting has gotten better. But Mike, this mail-in ballot thing is not going away. I mean, people, unfortunately, you don't like it. Joe doesn't like it. I like it. I mean, people like it. It's not going away. And we just don't seem to have an apparatus, Michael Patrick Leahy, to get a handle on how to get these mail-out ballots to people and how to get them back to the same extent that the Dems do. Comment.
So in this instance here in Tennessee, this was mostly early voting, early in-person voting, not really mail-in voting going on in Tennessee. That's the way our rules work here. But your point is well made that, she won the early voting. Barely, but she won it. Why did she win it? Because the local Democrat Party was more organized specifically in key Democrat strongholds within the 7th District. That would be Nashville, Davidson County, where in the early voting in Nashville-Davidson County, she totally stomped Matt Bain. It was only 25% of the district, but she ended up getting, in the early voting, wait for it, 18,000 votes. He only got 3,000 votes. So it was a 15,000 vote margin.
Well,
and
it's a 6-to-1 margin. 6-to-1. So if you go on a percentage basis, on a 6-to-1 basis, you're talking 85-15.
The good news, though, is on Election Day, the turnout in Davidson County was not any higher than the early voting, 21,000 votes. And on Election Day, Republicans turned out more. The margin on Election Day in Davidson County was only 15,000 to 6,000. So Republicans actually showed up on Election Day. What does that tell you? I'll tell you exactly what it says, John. It says the local Davidson County Republican Party and the local state party in early voting were not doing their job. That's what it says. Mm-hmm. Because the Election Day voting came from huge national support and the organization of Get Out the Vote by the National Republican Congressional Committee.
Well, what do we do to turn that around? Because going into the midterms, we can't have this. We have to do a better job. And we're getting crushed. And if you look at like the special in Pennsylvania they had for the state senator, for the state Senate, I mean, they beat us there with early voting 90-10. Just nobody did anything. I mean, we're still waiting around on game day. Mike, this is not a prescription to keep the House in November.
So, look, let's give credit where credit is due for the great Election Day turnout. And I think you've got to give a lot of credit to Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, who came down here and campaigned with Matt Van Epps the day before, and the National Republican Campaign Committee, all of the national conservative speakers like John Fredericks and Steve Bannon and Clay Travis and yours truly, who got the message got through. I will be very blunt. The Davidson County Republican Party operation is not at all involved in getting out the vote or organizing. It's weak. And that's also true with my friend who runs the Republican Party of Tennessee, Scott Golden. And remember now, at the executive committee of the Republican Party of Tennessee, Oscar Brock, who's the national committeeman, publicly stated in October he was not going to campaign or work for any incumbent Republican member of Congress. Well, because he didn't like the shutdown. That guy's got to go. And I'm sorry to say, but my friend Scott Golden has not done the organizational work necessary at the local level. He's been the chairman of the Republican Party here in Tennessee for 9 going on 10 years. And they've gotten not focused on getting out the vote or early voting. And that's really the problem, it seems to me.
Well, you guys got to do something. We got to win all these seats. Now, you control the state house, you control the both chambers, you have the governor. Any way you can redistrict there and kick out a couple of the libtards?
Well, in the congressional delegation, there are 9 members of the House of Representatives. 8 are currently Republican. Only 1 in Memphis, Steve Cohen, is a Democrat. There's a possibility that district could be redistricted, and but it's so heavily Democratic in the city of Memphis. I think that it's a possibility. Would that have the outcome of flipping from 8-1 to 9-0? It's possible. It is not going to happen in this election cycle. That I can tell you. In this election cycle, in the Memphis congressional district, I predict that Steve Cohen, the very old white liberal lefty, is going to lose the primary to the radical young Bowdoin graduate black activist who's one of the Tennessee Three, Justin Pearson, who the Justice Democrats are backing. He's going to win the primary. That will make it more competitive in the general election, and the Republican would have a better chance against the far, far left Justin Pearson than the far left Steve Cohen. But I still think that's probably going to end up being a Democrat victory in 2026. We'll end up 8 Republicans and 1 Democrat in the Tennessee congressional delegation after the 2026 midterm. So it will be no change.
I want to get your thoughts here on my concern with young people, Zoomers, abandoning MAGA in droves over our obsession with Israel.
No, I don't think it has anything to do really with the overarching under 40 change.
I'm not talking about under 40. I'm talking about 18 to 25. That's the segment that we made tremendous inroads with Trump. We lost them. That was in 24. We lost them in 25. We're losing them now. When you do the polling, big issue that comes up is they're done with Israel. They don't want any part of it. They want out. They don't want to get involved in Venezuela. It's all about these wars. So this is real, Mike. I mean, these are really polling numbers that are coming out. I mean, what do we do about this?
So, John, the polling numbers that you referenced on the 18 to 25 group,
yes,
I have not seen those. I'm not going to dispute them. I've not seen them. I will say, if they're true, that what they are a reflection of is the ongoing anti-American propaganda going on from the regime media and from universities and K-12 public schools. That's a long-term problem that's not going to be addressed overnight.
What's your 20 seconds? What's your view? In fact, hold him a second there, Tyler. Just hold Mike a second. What's your view on AI and how that might take kids' jobs away coming out of college?
A huge problem. I think one of the ways to address that is kids need to stop learning basket weaving and gender studies and focus on technical trades. Look, if you're young and you want to have a job when you get out, learn how to weld, learn how to do HVAC, learn how to be a plumber or a carpenter, and you'll have a very successful career.
What if they don't want to do that? What if they want, to go into, your typical young junior executive white collar type jobs, and they're not available?
Fewer of those opportunities going forward, John. So wake up and smell the coffee.
All right, Michael Patrick Leahy, wake up, baby, smell the coffee. Let's go. Speaking of coffee, the official coffee of the John Fredericks Radio Network. I'm gonna have a sip. Hang on. Damn, that's some good coffee. 1775coffee.com. 1775coffee.com. Promo code Godzilla going to get you 10% off. We're going to have it on the Trump bus leaving for Indianapolis this afternoon. We're going to be in Indy for a week, raising hell. Let's get that redistricting through the state Senate. Michael Patrick Leahy, you got to have me on your show when I'm in Indy. Can't wait.
We will do it. We'll do it, John.
Oh, baby. Michael Patrick Leahy, star. He's a star. Winning awards and everything. Unbelievable. Goes on War Room. Wow. He's made the big time, folks. Michael Patrick Leahy Show. You can follow Michael Patrick Leahy on the Michael Patrick Leahy Show right on our network, right here, plus Roku TV, Apple TV, and Fire Stick, 10 a.m. Eastern to 1 p.m. Eastern, 9 to noon, Titan time. Hey, we're going to get the number one draft pick again. That's great. First time in the history of the NFL that a team has gotten 2 number one draft picks in a row, not via a trade. We suck. We will be right back. Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome, John.